opening bell segment. Business news stories from Africa, the rest of the world will come to you on Global Business, and we'll also take a look at issues affecting businesses in the southeastern part of Nigeria and the Eastern Business Report. And then finally, of course, activities and conversations from around the market will come to you on Afia. The Afia Business Morning takes center stage every weekday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. My name is Ubong Kings. Welcome to the Afia Business Morning. Trading on the floor of the Nigerian exchange is open today. The exchange in London opened an hour ago. The New York exchange is yet to open, while in China, opening bells went off at 2 a.m. local time. We'll be looking at all of those details, but then again, welcome to the opening bell segment. Before we jump into all the details as to activities on our selected exchanges, let's bring you up to speed on some business news stories that are making the rounds. Starting off from the global economy, where it's reported that JetBlue has been hit with penalty over chronic flight delays. It's reported that the United States Department of Transportation, US DOT, has imposed a $2 million penalty on JetBlue Airways for operating 4 chronically delayed flights on domestic routes, which is the first time it has imposed such a fine on an airline for the prohibited scheduling practice. And away from that, but still, of course, from the global economy, and still U.S. in the mix, Biden is to ban new oil drilling over vast areas of U.S. Atlantic and Pacific. It may interest you to know that President Joe Biden is set to ban new offshore oil and gas development across 625 million acres of U.S. coastal territory, and would rule out the sale of drilling rights in stretches of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Details of this story and more will come to you on Global Business. So moving away from that, let's move on to the floors of our featured exchanges. Like they say, charity begins at home, so we'll start on the floors of the Nigerian Stock Exchange this morning, where the NGX All-Share Index over the weekend closed on the high, rising by 0.39% to close at 103,586.30 points. I'm interested to know that a total of 709,279,301 shares, which are valued at 8,243,483,368 naira 39 kobo, were traded across 13,593 deals with equity capitalization of 63,165,696,453,673 naira 84 kobo. And moving on, let's take a look at the biggest gainers and biggest losers of the day. The biggest gainer of the day was Chams, which rose by 10%. Other gainers were the likes of Umatech, NCR, Learn Africa, and Regal Insurance. On the other hand, however, Total topped the losers list with a decline of 9.74%. Other losers were the likes of CWG, Thomas Y, ABC Trans, and USC Nigeria. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll be looking at activities from other selected exchanges. I'm talking about the likes of the New York Stock Exchange, the London Stock Exchange, the Chinese Stock Exchange, which pretty much comprises the Shenzhen and Shanghai exchanges. All of that after the break. The Afia Business Morning, indeed, opening bell. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. You're welcome back to the Afia Business Morning, and you are watching Opening Bell. We're moving straight to the floors of other featured exchanges, and we're continuing with the New York Stock Exchange this morning, where interestingly, it's all rises in index values across board. The NYC Composite DJ is up at 0.83%. The NYC US 100 Index is up at 0.76%. Dow Jones Industrial Average up 0.80%. S&P 500 Index is also up at 1.26%. NYC Frank TM Index is up 1.44%. The Nasdaq Composite and Nasdaq 100 also up at 1.77% and 1.67% respectively. And now let's take a look. Let's go to, well, we're moving to the UK now, London more specifically. It's a reverse going to London because the stock exchange now at London is all dips and index values across board. FTSE 100 is down 0.44%, FTSE 250, FTSE 350, FTSE All Share Index all down 0.24%, 0.41% and 0.41% respectively. Now the question is, will this be the same order of events when we go to Asia? Because our next stop is the Asian Stock Exchange, Chinese more specifically, where, well, it's a repeat of what happened in London. It's all dips in index values across board at Shenzhen, where the Shenzhen Composite Index is down 1.89%. The ZSE Composite Index is down at 2.65%. The China Index is also down at 2.16%. Now, the question is, will this be the same thing that would happen at the Shanghai Exchange? Oh, well, yes, indeed, by all means, it's all dips again. The Shanghai Exchange in China, the SSE Composite Index is down 1.57%. The SSE 50 Index is down 0.89%. The Star 50 Index down also at 1.41%. The SSE 180 Index is down 1.16%. The SSE 380 Index and the CSI 300 Index are both down at 1.68% and 1.18%. We will take another break, and this time when we return, we'll be looking at commodity prices as well as a consumer price watch and the Apple market. You may want to follow this program, join in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly tap in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, do well to hit the like button. Remember, you can subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. And just so you know, the Afia Business Morning will be right back after this time out. Stay tuned. My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Afamaga.
I am Chioma Okbala.
My name is Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in market speaking.
Glad to have you rejoin us, and you're welcome back. My name is Ubong. It's still the Afia Business Morning, and you are watching Opening Bell. It's time to check in on commodity prices, and well, we'll begin with precious metals. And incidentally, today there is actually no activity for gold recorded. However, platinum and palladium are both up at 1.42%, showing the same value anyway. Silver is down, on the other hand, at 0.02%. Now let's take a look at energy this morning. Well, it's mostly dips in index values across board, except of course for oil Brent, which is up at 0.76%. However, natural gas is down at a very high margin of 8.36%. The same way when it goes up is also on a very high margin. Anyway, ethanol is down at 1.62%, coal is down 1.05%, oil bonny light is down at 2.84%, Brass River and Quibo both down with the same value of 0.01%. Okay, and the rest of the commodities we're going to be taking a look at this morning will be industrial metals, where it's also mostly dips in index values across board, except of course for copper and tin, which are both up at 0.88% and 1.44% respectively. However, nickel, zinc are both down at 1.61% and 2.12% respectively. Aluminum is down 1.41%. Lead is down 0.39%. Iron ore is also down at 1.18%. You're watching the Afia Business Morning right here. And this indeed is Opening Bell. Do want to follow the program, join in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly tap in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. While you're there, do want to hit the like button. Remember, you can and you should subscribe so you get notifications and all business related content coming to you from Afia TV. Up next, we'll be taking a look at the hikes in prices of food commodities in the open market, as well as the hikes in fuel prices. And on that note, I'll see you tomorrow on the Opening Bell when the exchange is reopened for trading. The Afia Business Morning will be right back with the segment Global Business. My name is Ubon Kings. Stay tuned.
Igbo entrepreneur. Charge up your business for 2025. Come and discover the secrets of building a successful business from successful Igbo business moguls who have built business empires over the years at the Okimba Expo 2025. Theme: Unlocking our economic potentials through investment, infrastructure, and innovation. Come and hear firsthand from speakers like Peter Obi, Cosmos Maduka, Frank Neji, Leostan Eke, Emeka Mba, Kano Wanko, JJ Okocha, and so many more. Date: 7 to 8 January 2025. Time: 8 a.m. daily. Venue: Nobik International Center, 7 Up Road, Obo Hill, Aba, Abia State. Get your tickets now for 10,000 naira regular and virtual, 30,000 naira executive, and 50,000 naira VIP. Call or WhatsApp 0806 238 5155 or visit www.okimba.com for more information. Join us. Let's unlock possibilities and build the future of Alibo together. Okimba Expo 2025. Alibo Bu Okimba.
The Afia Business Morning. Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. The opening bell where we see activities from our select stock exchanges. The global business where we bring you up to speed on business activities making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Reports as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubong King. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Thank you profusely for rejoining me on the Afia Business Morning. Welcome to Global Business, and here we'll be taking a look at business news stories around the continent of Africa and indeed the rest of the world. My name is Ubong Kings. You're welcome, and here are the headlines that we are tracking at the moment. Starting off with business news stories from the world of aerospace, it's reported that JetBlue has been hit with penalty over chronic flight delays. And away from that, Biden is to ban new oil drilling over vast areas of the U.S., Atlantic and Pacific waters. And then from the African continent, farmers use AI application to tackle pests and crop diseases. We'll bring you details of these stories and more right after this time out. Stay tuned. You're watching Global Business right here on the Afia Business Morning. Welcome back, and we will begin with business news stories from the world of aerospace. It was reported that the low-cost UK airline EasyJet, in an effort to save on fuel usage and cut the number of coats needed per plane to paint the iconic EasyJet white and orange design, is planning to try out a new lightweight painting method and is expected to be adopted by EasyJet's whole fleet by the end of this decade. Although the technique is still very new, making EasyJet one of the earliest airlines to use it, it is still expected to cut about 27 kilograms of weight per aircraft, which in turn is expected to translate to about 1,296 tons of fuel savings once EasyJet's entire fleet uses the new paint system. However, the company has also highlighted that it is looking into several other steps to decrease plane weights in an attempt to further cut carbon emission and fuel usage levels, which includes focusing on improving operational efficiencies, fleet renewal, and airspace modernization. Now, quickly, let me just share some few things and make some things really clear. This story, obviously, is about the low-cost UK airline EasyJet, established. Now, the interesting part of the story is that EasyJet has pretty much worked out an interesting way to save on fuel usage. Now, this saving plan or saving on fuel usage would pretty much lead to a whole lot on the number, a cut rather, on the number of coats needed per plane to paint its iconic EasyJet white, of course, the white and orange design. Now, this whole idea is pretty much predicated on something, on a new lightweight painting method, and it is expected to be adopted by the brand's whole fleet by the end of this decade. Now, interestingly too, EasyJet says it is saving fuel and reducing carbon emissions by pioneering, I'm reading exactly what they say verbatim, by pioneering a new lower weight paint process from the manufacturer Kenwick's Aviation Coatings. Now, that is the source of this lightweight, paint. Kenwick's Aviation Coatings. Meanwhile, it may interest you to also know that EasyJet has coated already 38 of its aircraft in the new paint, which it says are already delivering fuel savings thanks to their lighter weight. In case you didn't know, more weight on an aircraft equals more fuel usage, just so you know. Let's establish that. Moving on, interestingly too, EasyJet is one of the earliest airlines, as it were, to use this lightweight paint technology, and is still expected to cut about 27 kilograms of weight per aircraft, which in turn is expected to translate to about 1,296 tons of fuel savings once EasyJet's entire fleet uses the new paint system. So fingers crossed, let's see how this will pan out eventually for the airline and whether or not other airlines will adopt the same thing. And then still talking about business news stories from the world of aerospace, let's tell you that the United States Department of Transportation, US DOT, has imposed a $2 million penalty on JetBlue Airways for operating 4 chronically delayed flights on domestic roads, which is the first time it has imposed such a fine on an airline for the prohibited scheduling practice. Meanwhile, the US Department of Transportation has said as part of a consent agreement with the airline, JetBlue will pay a $1 million fine, and the remainder will go to compensate customers affected by its chronic delays on any future disruptions within this year. However, as part of the settlement, JetBlue has agreed to provide vouchers worth a minimum of $75 for passengers for future flight cancellations or delays of 3 hours or more caused by the airline within the year. Moreover, JetBlue, which did not admit liability, said it appreciates how important it is to their customers to arrive at their destinations on time and promised to work very hard to operate their flights as scheduled. Now, the first paragraph of this story really brings something worth mentioning, pretty much worth emphasizing to the fore. And that pretty much has to be the imposed $2 million penalty on JetBlue Airways. As far as I'm concerned, it's a long time coming, right? It's a long time coming, because I say so because by way of research, it may interest you to know that JetBlue Airways had operated 4 chronically delayed flights on its domestic routes. In other words, let me put this in the sentence. In other words, this chronic delays has pretty much been a recurring decimal, which of course has caused passengers untold hardship, customers, delayed times, and all of that. And of course, a lot of persons complaining, yeah? But then, now for the sake of emphasis, this is the first time, as it were, that an airline has been fined, and not just fined that huge sum of $2 million for chronic delays. And then it may also interest you to know that JetBlue has not pretty much admitted liability. They haven't. As a matter of fact, let me read what they say. They rather say that they appreciate how important it is to their customers to arrive at their destinations on time. They also say they are promising to work very hard to operate their flights as scheduled. Oh well. We'll see how this pans out eventually. Will they pay that sum, or will there be a lifeline somewhere for them? I don't know. We'll find out real soon. But then we'll take a short break. And when we return, more stories as far as the business world is concerned right here on the Afia Business Morning and indeed global business. Stay with us. Great to have you rejoin us, and welcome back to the Afia Business Morning. And you are watching Global Business. Now to the rest of our stories. And this time we're moving to stories from the oil and gas sector, where it's reported that President Joe Biden is set to ban new offshore oil and gas development across 625 million acres of U.S. coastal territory, and will rule out the sale of drilling rights in stretches of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Meanwhile, Biden is leaving the possibility open for new oil and natural gas leasing in the central and western areas of the Gulf of Mexico, which account for around 14% of the nation's production of these fuels, as the ban will solidify Biden's legacy on addressing climate change and his goal to decarbonize the U.S. economy by 2050. Although Biden, Trump and Trump's predecessor Barack Obama all used the law to ban sales of offshore drilling rights in some coastal areas, Trump tried in 2017 to reverse Arctic and Atlantic Ocean withdrawals Obama had made at the end of his presidency, but a federal judge ruled in 2019 that the law does not give presidents the legal authority to overturn prior bans. You know, if you ask me, this particular, ban is officially to be announced today, Monday, and somehow it rules out the sale of drilling rights in the stretches of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and the Gulf, Eastern Gulf, that is, of Mexico. Now, just so you know, this ban will solidify, according to the story, Biden's legacy on addressing climate change and his goals to decarbonize the U.S. economy by 2015, which simply means there'll be no oil exploration around U.S. territorial waters. And an interesting aspect of this ban lies in what the New York Times reported. And they said clearly that a section of the law Biden's decision relies on, which is called the Outer Continental Shelf Islands Act, actually gives the president leeway to bar drilling and does not, that's the part I'm interested in, and does not include any language that would allow President-elect Donald Trump or other future presidents to revoke the ban. Now, that part about the law for the ban not including any language that would allow President-elect Donald Trump or any other future president of the U.S. to revoke the ban sounds a little off to me. I thought maybe it's deliberate, but then come to think of it, what is there to want to revoke? Really, after all, the state law that empowers the ban is designed to address climate change and the goal to decarbonize the U.S. economy by 2050, right? Anyway, we'll see how all of that pans out eventually, because Donald Trump will be taking office real soon. So we'll see whether there will be any talk about wanting to reverse that. And remember, also, there's also something else on the table for Mr. Donald Trump to look into. That has to do with the fact that, the government of the U.S., as led by Joe Biden, has already set a date aside for ByteDance to divest his investments in TikTok. But all of that we'll find out eventually after President-elect Donald Trump takes office. And then moving away from that, and this time we're moving on to Africa. Yeah, I know, we saved the best for the last, and this time it's from the world of tech. It's reported that a non-profit organization, Plant Village, is testing a smartphone app powered by artificial intelligence to help farmers identify disease and pests in their crops in western Kenya. However, according to experts, this module is successful in trial areas, could significantly improve yields and offer solutions for smallholder farmers across the continent. Furthermore, researchers across Africa are exploring various solutions, including introducing resilient crops in climate-affected areas and leveraging the technology, as the technology provides resources on sourcing quality seeds, land preparation methods, and access to agricultural specialists. Now, if you ask me, this story to me is pretty exciting. The fact that African farmers are embracing innovation in the tech space, and not just any kind, artificial intelligence for that matter, and applying it to practical and beneficial aspects of African life is pretty heartwarming for me. Anyway, Reuters took out the time to share with us how Kenyan farmers are using the artificial intelligence app to tackle pests and crop diseases. Let's take a look.
Please show me the first leaf that does not look healthy.
The creators of this smartphone app say it uses artificial intelligence to provide an instant diagnosis for crop diseases and pests. It was developed by non-profit organisation Plant Village to offer real-time solutions to crop health issues. It's a boon for Kenyan smallholders like Rosalina Kochi, who has long struggled to identify the problems with her plants.
This phone app has made my work so easy. I don't have to go far, or look for someone for advice, or use any transport money. It's just me in the farm and my phone.
Akochi has been using the app since 2018 and says the difference in her yields has been vast.
You cannot compare the difference. Before, an acre would produce only 5 bags of cassava. Most were wilted or diseased. But using the modern technology that I have been using, 1 acre can now produce 200 or 250 bags.
Smallholder farmers like Akochi typically work on less than 2-acre farms and produce 80% of food consumed in Africa. The technology also provides resources on sourcing quality seeds, land preparation methods, and access to agricultural specialists. Lawrence Ombweyo works for Plant Village, training farmers and testing the AI application in Busia, an area identified as food insecure.
49% of the AIs being deployed in Africa are based on agriculture. And the reason why we are focusing on agriculture is because of the increased population and also the challenges that are being brought by climate change.
Experts say Africa requires an annual investment of $77 billion to enhance farming practices, boost yields, and improve agricultural supply chains to address food insecurity. Researchers across Africa are exploring various solutions, including introducing resilient crops in climate-affected areas and leveraging technology. But many believe AI has great potential due to its accessibility, customization, and affordability. However, barriers to technology adoption, such as lack of smartphone access, persist.
Follow up with the stories and keep you updated as they unfold eventually, just so keep you in the loop. And talking about keeping you in the loop, you may want to get to our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel to watch in live. Kindly tap in and search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, do hit the like button and you should subscribe so you get notifications and all business related content coming to you from Afia TV. You're still watching the Afia Business Morning right here on Afia TV. Coming up next will be the Eastern Business Report. And today we'll be looking at conversations that I wish to expatiate on in the course of this week. Yes, indeed, the Afia Business Morning will be right back with the Eastern Business Report. Stay tuned. My name is Ubong King.